Why the Los Angeles Rams win the Super Bowl in 2019? Make sure to stay tuned to find out. What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports. I'm back to you guys with another video. In this video, I'm continuing my series talking about why every single team will win the Super Bowl. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why the Los Angeles Rams win the Super Bowl in 2019. Before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I upload NFL videos, NFL content daily. Also, make sure to follow me on my social media pages. My Instagram is JT_Sports_. Link to my Instagram will be down in the description in the comment section down below. And also make sure to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is JT_Sports_ as well. Link to that will be down in the description in the comment section down below. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about why the LA Rams can win the Super Bowl in 2019. Now, I've been thinking about this video for a long time. And basically, I have two categories how I place teams. I have the first category where teams are heavily reliant on one particular player. If that one player goes down, their season is done. Or they're a worse team than what they already are. For example, the New York Giants. If Saquon Barkley gets injured and he's out for the season, they're a worse team than what they already are. Then the Green Bay Packers. If Aaron Rodgers gets injured, suffers a season-ending injury, their playoff hopes are down the drain. So the first column are teams that are heavily reliant on one player. He's quote their franchise guy. He's their guy. 80% of their success or a large chunk of their success depends on how good that player will be and if he's able to stay healthy. If that player gets injured, the season is done. The second column is teams that aren't heavily reliant on one player and are comfortable with their coaching staff and trust their coaching staff and believe that if one player gets injured, although it's a loss, they believe that they have that next man up philosophy and the next man has to step up and they can game plan around with the talent that they have around them. A good example of this is the Philadelphia Eagles. When Carson Wentz got injured a few seasons ago, Nick Foles had to step up. Doug Peterson, that coaching staff for the Philadelphia Eagles, they game planned around Nick Foles, and they won the Super Bowl with that. The New England Patriots, similar thing. If a star player goes out or key player suffers an injury, they don't dwell on it. They have that next man up philosophy, and they game plan around it. This is what I think the LA Rams are. I think the LA Rams are in that second category. Even though Todd Gurley with the arthritis may not be 100%, he may struggle being able to stay healthy. Sean McVay and that coaching staff, they're going to find the way to game plan around that. Although Todd Gurley, him not being able to get as many carries and stuff like that will affect the LA Rams. I still think the LA Rams are a 12-win, 13-win team, and I still think they can win the Super Bowl and are Super Bowl contenders, despite Todd Gurley having the arthritis, slowing him down and stuff like that. Although he's a big part of the offense, Sean McVay is regarded as one of the most innovative minds to ever enter the NFL in a very long time. When you have an innovative mind like a Sean McVay, he's going to be able to game plan and find a way around it and navigate this. He's going to find a way to navigate the whole Todd Gurley arthritis thing. And he's going to find a way to find new ways to make his offense even more innovative and get more guys the ball in their hands. That's why I'm confident that the LA Rams can win the Super Bowl in 2019. Great coaching staff. You have one of the best head coaches, one of the most innovative minds in all of football, and Sean McVay. He's supposed to be the most innovative offensive mind in the game. So he's going to be able to game plan around the whole Todd Gurley arthritis thing and still find ways to have a lot of production on the offensive side of the ball. And it's not just Todd Gurley. Although Todd Gurley is a big piece of this offense, people forget Jared Goff was an MVP candidate for the majority of the 2018 NFL season until he fizzled out the last 4 weeks of the NFL. He didn't really play that good. But yeah, 4,688 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, completed 64.9% of his passes. He also has a very talented group of wide receivers. He has Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, Josh Reynolds, And also, he's getting back his #1 guy and Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp missed almost the whole entire season last year for season-ending injury. You're getting Cooper Kupp back. So you have arguably one of the best wide receiving corps in the NFL back. Then you got a solid tight end group. You got Gerald Everett and Tyler Higbee. You got a very solid group of tight ends and a very good group of wide receivers. Then people forget they drafted Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson has been the most electric halfback I've seen in college football for a while. Every Memphis game I watched, he was a threat to take it all the way for a touchdown nearly every single time he touched the football. And now he's going to be behind Todd Gurley with a very good offensive line. People forget that this offensive line for the LA Rams is one of the best in all the football, top 5. Left tackle Andrew Whitworth was, by Pro Football Focus, the 3rd best offensive tackle in the NFL last season by Pro Football Focus. He had an 86.1 grade. Offensive guard Joseph Noteboom, 70.8 overall grade by Pro Football Focus. One of the best offensive guards in the NFL. Center Brian Allen, 67.3 grade. He was above average center by Pro Football Focus. So he was a solid starter. Then, offensive guard, Austin Blythe. He had a 71 overall grade by Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus rated him the 12th best offensive guard in football. Then you got offensive tackle who plays right tackle, Rob Havenstein. He was regarded as the 7th best offensive tackle in the NFL with an 81.8 overall grade. So the LA Rams have a top 5 left tackle, a top 10 right tackle, they have a top 15 offensive guard in Austin Blythe, and they have a solid left guard and center and Brian Allen and Joseph Noteboom. So they have one of the best offensive lines in all of football. Not top 3, but you can debate that they're top 5, top 10. They have a very solid offensive line. They're very good pass blocking and they're very good run blocking. So although Todd Gurley, he's going to be a little bit limited, the offensive line is very good. They're going to be good enough to open up lanes and holes for Darrell Henderson to run through. Darrell Henderson is also very good catching the ball out of the backfield. He's not at the level that Todd Gurley is. He's not elite when it comes to catching the ball out of the backfield, but he's also very good catching the ball. He's solid catching the ball out of the backfield as well. If anything, Darrell Henderson might be half of what Todd Gurley is. He might be what Todd Gurley was coming out of college. A home run hitter. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to take it all the way. That's what Todd Gurley was in Georgia. He was a threat to take it to the house all the way. So really, Darrell Henderson is a younger version and an inexperienced version of Todd Gurley. He's not elite like what Todd Gurley is, but he has potential to be nearly as good as Todd Gurley. Now, although it's going to be really hard to replace a guy like Todd Gurley, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying Darrell Henderson has a lot of potential, a lot of similarities to Todd Gurley. Behind this offensive line, Darrell Henderson could be really good. Really good. He could give Todd Gurley some rest. Todd Gurley could rest up for the playoffs. He won't have to carry the ball 30 times a game. You can give Todd Gurley 19 carries, 19 touches. He could be pretty solid. You find a way to get Darrell Henderson involved in the offense, which Sean McVay is going to find a way to get Darrell Henderson involved in his offense. Because Todd Gurley, he's a solid part of the offense. So you want to keep him healthy throughout the season until the playoffs come. So Darrell Henderson is going to be able to take that workload off of Todd Gurley because he can do as similar things as what Todd Gurley can do with the ball in his hands. He's a home run threat. He's also pretty solid catching the ball out the backfield, and also he can develop and get even better as the season progresses. So Darrell Henderson is like a third of what Todd Gurley is. So they have a very good group at halfback, a solid offensive line. The offense is going to be solid, regardless of Todd Gurley's health. The offensive line is top 10. If you have a good offensive line, you have an 80% chance of making it to the playoffs. Most of the teams in the NFL last season that went to the playoffs, the Final Four, had some of the best offenses in the NFL, offensive lines, in the NFL last season. Then on the defense side of the ball, although they lost 3 starters, they're still very solid. You got Aaron Donald, reigning defensive player of the year last year, had 20 sacks. He's going to be good. You got Clay Matthews. He's not what he used to be. He had 3.5 sacks. But for change of scenery, I think he could end up having a solid contribution for the LA Rams. He can end up being a guy who has maybe 5, 6 sacks. That's pretty solid. You got Dante Fowler there. He was pretty solid last season. Didn't really get a lot of opportunities during the regular season because of the trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars that happened mid-season. But now he's going to fully know the playbook. He's going to get a lot more opportunities. Dante Fowler's going to be a guy who's going to end up having 8, maybe 9 sacks. The potential is there for him to be a 9-sack guy. Then you got Marcus Peters at the cornerback position. Marcus Peters wasn't really that good last season. He was really inconsistent, but in the playoffs, he was pretty solid. Pretty solid in the playoffs. So he's going to bounce back this season. Then you got Eric Weddle. Although Eric Weddle's up there in age, he is pretty doggone good for his age. He was graded by Pro Football Focus as the 10th best safety in the NFL last season with an 80.7 overall grade. How old is Eric Weddle? He's another guy like Tom Brady and Larry Fitzgerald that keeps on defining father time. Eric Weddle is still a very solid starting safety in the NFL. Then you got Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib was better than what a lot of people are giving him credit for. Although he missed a couple of games, he was really solid. According to Pro Football Focus, he was the 20th best cornerback in the NFL with a 76.6 overall grade by Pro Football Focus. So Aqib Talib was really solid. Let's not forget nickel cornerback Nickel Robbie Coleman. He was the 13th best cornerback in the NFL last season with a 79.8 overall grade. So the LA Rams have one of the better secondaries in the NFL. So their secondary is solid. You got a solid group of pass rushers, Dante Fowler, Aaron Donald, Clay Matthews. Those guys can get after the passer. We know what Aaron Donald can do. Dante Fowler can get after the passer. Clay Matthews, and he's still pretty productive. He's a guy who I think can still give them some production there. 5, maybe 6 sacks there. 8 sacks would be really surprising, but he can give the LA Rams some production there. So their offense is still going to be good regardless of how healthy Todd Gurley is going to be able to stay, because you have an innovative mind like a Sean McVay who can game plan and strategize around Todd Gurley being limited this season and trying to not give him so much of a workload. You have a young running back in the Darrell Henderson who is pretty good. I'm really high on Darrell Henderson. I thought he was a first-round talent. Now that he's on the Rams, we saw what C.J. Anderson did last season. You saw what C.J. Anderson did last season. C.J. Anderson was outplaying Todd Gurley near the end of the season. C.J. Henderson was a freaking monster. So C.J. Henderson can do that? Then I'm pretty sure C.J. Anderson, if he was able to do that, I'm pretty sure Darrell Henderson should be able to replicate that success. So this LA Rams team is pretty good. They're going to win 12-13 games. I think they're going to win the NFC West. And I think they can win the Super Bowl this year. They're still in their prime. They still have a lot of good talent on the roster. They're one of the most talented teams in all of football. Top 5. So I think the LA Rams can win the Super Bowl this year in 2019. And this is why I think the LA Rams can win the Super Bowl in 2019. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.